Should be live, good to go. Oh, I need to update the school. Yeah, welcome in, Sarah. Good to see you again. Here first already. Let's go. How we doing? Just waiting for the post to update, and then I will add the link to the school community. I think the link last time was wrong, and it just like totally scuffed everyone. But I'll give that a second to go live, and then there we go. Copy that. Paste. Perfect. Yes, if you guys are in the school, the link is going to be directly from here to Restream and then to LinkedIn. Perfect. Heck yeah. All right, we've got the chat open. I've got lots of questions from the last week of posts, so we'll probably dive into all that today. I'm also working on a 90-day roadmap for the content, so I'll kind of go over all that on the live today. We'll give everyone a few minutes to get in here, and then we'll start answering some questions. Mohammed, I do have the skill of filming myself. The one skill I want to learn right now is copywriting. Epic. Man, copywriting is so. Ask any questions you have on the live today. Oh, I cannot spell. Perfect. All right. Yeah, just dropped a new post there. Awesome. And what's up, Josh? I guess give everyone another minute, and then we'll start answering a couple questions from the post last few days, and then I'll answer questions from the chat as well. All right, so this post should take you directly to live. Beautiful. Okay. I don't keep secret about what's on LinkedIn. Nice. Okay. Alrighty. And if you guys are not in the school yet, make sure to join. I'll have links pretty much everywhere, but it's all on my profile. We're at 326 right now. Hopefully we can hit probably 400 by the end of next week. If we do like a hard push for school, we'll definitely be able to push it. All right, let's dive into some questions from these last few days. Let's see. All right, let's start with a couple questions I had yesterday. Pull up my questions here. All right. Okay, so Sarah yesterday asked, I'll go with your question first. How do I decide what content pillars to focus on? Very good question. I think for my business, we kind of structure content in a couple different ways. The first one is content categories, and then the second one is content purpose and topics. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're creating content is what content purpose do you want your post to have? So if you're posting about, let's say, creating content, what is the purpose of the post? Is it to drive emails? Is it to get sales? Is it to get more followers? Whatever it is, every post has one purpose. And then you have the category, which is essentially what's the category of the post? Is it going to be an outbound category, inbound? Is it going to be sales? Is it going to be marketing? Is it going to be email? Create the topic. And then, of course, you need like the hook and then the actual concept of the post. And that can pretty much be whatever the concept is. So if you're talking about inbound emails and or let's say outbound emails, and your goal is to get more inbound subscribers or emails, you're going to create a post essentially talking about your email outbound strategy, and you're going to have a CTA asking to subscribe to your email list. It's that simple. And Vishnu, welcome in. And then also Afwi, good to see you as well. I should do LinkedIn Live, never done one before. Honestly, they're worth it. I go live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, so it's kind of worth it. You can also find it live on the school as well, which is right here. I just made a post in the school if you guys want to check it out, but yeah, definitely worth trying out, man. All right, another question from Vishnu is, how do I find niche and post consistently? So for niche, I would just say focus on what you're good at and what skills you like and what you see yourself doing in the next 5 years. The reason why I chose my niche is because I've been doing this on Twitch, on Twitter, on different platforms for so many years, and I love doing it. So I was able to go onto LinkedIn and do the exact same thing, but then focus on LinkedIn so it's platform specific, right? So you find your skill, what you love to do, and what you can see yourself doing for 15 hours a day. That's your niche, essentially. You don't have to go look for it. You don't have to learn new skills. Use what you already have and then take that into your niche. That's going to be the best way to do it. Regarding your question about posting consistently, that one's pretty easy too. Content batch. Create tons of ideas in one day. So every Sunday, create 7 to 14, let's say, post ideas, and then go in and start drafting up the content. Don't perfect each post as it goes. Write all the drafts first, and then go back in and perfect, and then do the visuals last. So it goes drafting, perfecting, visuals, post, and schedule. That's it. Works really well for me. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. I can post 1 to 2 times every single day on LinkedIn. I always have fresh ideas. I use my past ideas. I use my current ideas for myself. I use inspiration from other creators, other content ideas that do really, really well on the platform. You can pretty much find content ideas literally anywhere. You can even go on YouTube and just search up your niche and it'll give you like ideas. You can go on Reddit, do the same thing. So you can find ideas pretty much everywhere, which is pretty awesome. Cool. So yeah, so that's regarding the content pillars. Great question as well, Vishnu, on the niche. I think that's really important. But yeah, if you guys have any questions throughout the live, just go ahead and ask them in the chat and I will answer them here. Okay, so the next question I had was from David was, what's the easiest way to turn one post into multiple formats? I actually have proof of how this works. So you can actually just go onto my feed here of posts and you can see the content that I repurpose. I mean, kind of, but you can, I would say the easiest thing to do is take a video or a carousel and then take that into different formats. So if you have let's say you have this post right here, right? You have a carousel, you can take the copy and the images and easily turn the copy into a long form post, which is then like can be turned into like a simple visual. You can also take this copy here, turn into a script, a video script. It can be a 30 to 45 second video script. You're basically talking about this exact same thing. This is your hook for the video. This is the body of the video. At the end of the video, you've got a simple CTA, or you can completely erase the CTA and just make it into a value bomb of a post. But you can essentially take your carousels that's easily go into a single image, high value, single image post. You can easily turn that into a video script. You can also turn your, let's say your newsletters, for example, into tons of different types of content. Newsletters, carousels, single images, and you can do the same thing for long form videos. So the goal is essentially to take the longer form stuff, whether it's carousels, YouTube videos, whether it's a long form newsletter, and you break that down into the smaller consumable stuff, such as short form video, single image posts, maybe shorter carousels, and then like these triple ones that I have here that perform really, really well, things like that. So all those things are super crucial, but you can easily repurpose by taking the long form into short form. Also, Justin, good to see you in here, my guy. Built your first AI app in less than 6 hours. Ooh. Wait, I think you sent it to me in my email. I looked at it. It looked pretty sick. Pretty sure that was you, right? If you haven't, if it was somebody else, you can feel free to send it to me on LinkedIn, and I can give you some insights on that for sure, or just email it to me. But I remember I was going through some AI apps the other day that you guys were dropping in the school. And there were some really good ones. People are using Lovable. If you guys haven't tried Lovable yet, Lovable literally lets you like script and prompt your entire website in like 5 seconds. Pretty sick. All right. So Sarah, great question. David, awesome. And then Priya, your question was, how often should I post on LinkedIn without burning out? It's completely up to you, honestly. I post every single day, sometimes twice a day, just because I have the ideas. I've got the systems. I've got a backlog of photos, of videos, of carousel templates, of scripts. I've got so much content in the last 2.5 years that content I can just keep pushing out. It's so easy. It takes me 30 seconds sometimes. So the more you start creating, the more you can post. If you're just starting out, 3 to 4 times a week is plenty. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Skip Wednesday, skip the weekend. Create so much content on those days where you have, let's say, 3 to 4 months backlogged, where you can then start repurposing content, getting more ideas from the past content. But if you're just starting out, 3 to 4 is plenty. Then you can move on to what I'm doing 1 to 2 times a day. And you can also build based on purpose, based on category, and based on topics. The more categories you have, the more topics you have, the easier. And every post should talk about the same thing every single day. So if you go to my profile and look at my content, you're gonna see I talk about the same thing repeatedly. It's just like in different formats, in different structures, but I'm always talking about the same thing over and over again. The repetition is what kind of allows you to grow and build, sell at the same time. All right, Afwi, my LinkedIn likes and comments have tanked, and I'm connecting with too many inactive ideal clients. I'm saying 200 connections a week. So 200 connections is really good. That's solid. That's more than average. If your likes and comments have tanked, number one, LinkedIn engagement fully down right now. It's just normal. Organic content down. If your content is bad, your engagement's gonna be bad. If your content is really good, you have a higher chance of doing better engagement. So what I've noticed that worked really well, man, is like controversial topics right now and things that like get people to ask questions and create convo is number one. You basically want to get more engagement on your post by using engagement loops. You got to ask questions, make people talk. The more quick engagement you can get on your post, the better it's going to perform. I've seen like tons of studies on this. We've been testing stuff for months. The more engagement means the more impressions you'll get over time. So you want to like really try to get lots of comments. Like that's number one, is just get more comments and also get more saves. Saves is crucial right now. Reposting, it's all right, but saves and comments are the top two. In terms of your ideal clients, if you're or I guess if you're connecting with the wrong people, you need to figure out some sort of system to connect with the right people. And for example, you could basically just go into like your ICP. For example, you could go to, let's say, Laura. Let's say she targets your exact ICP. What I would do is I would go to her post. I would find people that are active. So I'd go, let's say, to this post right here. If she was your ICP, if she targets your ICP, I'm going to go to recent. I'm literally going to go down here and find second and third degree connections. I'm going to find people that are in the US that are building a business, that already run some sort of company, that have bad content. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find someone, right, that's in the US. Ooh, fix my camera. Moments. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to find people that are in the US that are my ICP and that look like they have content. So this guy right here, for example, he looks like he does real estate. Let's see if he does content. So no followers yet. He does not have an optimized profile. Looks like he's trying to post content. Very few likes. He is obviously like doing something right. He's in San Francisco. This is a perfect ICP. Bad content. He's in the US. He's got like obviously a solid profile photo. He looks like he'd be someone who's looking to invest into some services. ICP, boom. We can test it out to see if he'd be interested in connecting and having a convo. So I would mainly go through these comments and find people that look like they really need a service. Heck, if they don't want the high ticket services, throw them to like some of your cheaper stuff or even your free stuff. But you have to manually filter out a lot of time because some people just aren't going to be your ICP, especially if they're not in your select region. We only target US, sometimes the UK and Canada, but it's strictly US for now. But it really, like, you have to target the right people. Otherwise, you're not going to have active clients, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question? Also, AJ, great question. What works better on LinkedIn video posts or image and text posts? Both. I would say right now, LinkedIn has definitely moved over towards the horizontal stuff. They're really trying to test video. I don't know if you guys got the email yesterday. They just updated their terms of service. They are pushing more money into video. So video is always going to be good. But recently I've been doing more horizontal video style like this, less of the vertical. Both are working pretty well. I think the horizontal is working better for me. But what I would do is I would test out two things. The first thing is post like this. So the three, let me make this a little bigger. So 3 images like this of yourself. So it could be like some aesthetic photos and then yourself. That's going to be a simple copy and image post, right? Test this out. Test out vertical here. And I guess you could test out one more. So you have vertical video, horizontal video, and then the 3 images right here. Test out those 3 things for about a month. And then let me know what's the difference, what's doing the best. Post like more than one of them too. Like do a few of these, do a few vertical, see what works better, and then double down on what's working. That's my best advice. Because we've been testing all these different things for so many days now, and these tend to be really, really good. They're authentic, they're genuine, and people can actually like, you know, kind of relate to it a little bit. So that works well. Great questions. Okay, from James, 2 days ago, what's the difference between viral content and content that actually drives sales? Honestly, man, that's really based, like, it comes down to your hook and your CTAs, right? If you have a hook that doesn't target your ICP, if you have a CTA that doesn't drive people to the right purpose, let's say you want to drive people to your email list and you're sending people to like your profile, the CTA has too many steps. So first, you need your right purpose. Second, your hook should target exactly who you want to target. So mention a pain point, mention a potential solution, drop your system and the ideal scenario for your client in the post. So for example, if someone's struggling with burnout, showcase, okay, if you don't solve burnout right now, you're going to face XYZ. Now, if you take my system and you learn from it and you implement it, you're going to go from no burnout to, you're going to go from burnout to no burnout. And then once you have no burnout, you're going to see improvements like XYZ. So you're basically showcasing essentially like the perfect scenario for your client if they solve their problem, right? So showcase what happens when they solve the problem and what happens if they don't solve it. Make them want to solve it with your solution. Alrighty, great question. Elena, how do you hook someone in the first 2 lines of a post? So yeah, that's your generic hook on all LinkedIn content. Let's say, for example, your 2 first one-liners right here. I'll open up Supergrow and show you guys how to write a really easy hook right now. So if you have a Supergrow, if you're using normal LinkedIn posting, it's fine. So what this looks like here, I'll show you guys, is you have 2 one-liners, right? So in today's post, you essentially can see the first 2 lines, this one and this one. High income skills should be your number 1 focus. I'm essentially telling my audience, okay, your number 1 focus right now should be high income skills. You might be thinking, okay, what's a high income skill? Here's what you need before the start of 2026. Now, the reason why this works is 2026 is coming. It's a FOMO type post. People want to know exactly what they should do to start right now, and so they don't miss out on what's popular, what's like really profitable right now. That's why this works. So if you go to the preview here, you can see that in the see more, this is what you see. When you're scrolling LinkedIn, you're going to see these two lines, the first line, the second line. So you can either do one really long sentence, or you can do two short one-liners that kind of show, okay, this is X, this is Y. Show what's going to be inside the post. Don't make them like wonder what's inside of it. Show your audience in the hook what's inside the post, what to expect, and end with a good CTA. But that's going to be like every single hook is going to be what to expect in the post. Don't use clickbait. Most important is just don't clickbait your audience. But this is I'll show you guys one more example here. We'll do, all right, we'll say this one. This is a pretty good one. All right, so less. Okay, stop guessing what to post on LinkedIn. If you don't know what you're posting, if you're posting random stuff, this is going to hit because you're saying, okay, I think I've also gone through that. I think I've been guessing what to post on LinkedIn myself. You literally have the stats right in front of you. So I'm basically saying, okay, stop guessing. Let's say you have that problem. You're like, okay, what do I do? I say you have the stats in front of you, and you're probably like, oh, what does that mean? I have the stats in front of me. Where are they? Like on my monitor? Like where are they? I'll show you that. Go through my post. You're going to get the exact system in my short form video, right? So make your audience curious what's inside the post without giving it away, but hook them with the hook to showcase, okay, if you read this post, you're going to get more. That's every single hook, exactly the same. Every time I create a post, it's always like that. Great questions. Yeah, and if you guys want to chat, if you have any questions for today's live, I'm here. I'm answering every question you have, so feel free to drop it in. If you have any advice too for other people in the comment section, feel free to drop that as well. Yeah, today's just a Q&A, so drop anything you want. We also had some new members today, it looked like. Let me double check. Introduce. Okay, yeah, Steven would just join in. Cameron, we had you, Hashibul, Anand, and then I think we had one more member just join. Anwarul, welcome in, man. And then Frank, good to have you guys here. Let's go. Got you, AJ. No worries. Happy to help. Had a lot of questions the last couple of days, so I'm just gonna go through them. Okay, so let's see. We had James' question, great question. Alana, good question. Okay, Marcus. What are some ways to share personal stories without oversharing? That's a pretty good one. I've honestly seen a lot of people sharing some stuff on LinkedIn that probably shouldn't be shared just because they're oversharing some topics that probably aren't necessarily the best for posting online content. I would say mix it with educational content. Now, if you're only posting educational, it's hard to grow a brand. And if you're only posting personal, it's hard to grow a business. That's why you need to have educational and personal. And if you have that mix, you're able to grow both your brands and your business. Now, about 30%, maybe 20% of my content is promotional. It's actually a little less, not probably like 10%. But you need to have the promotional content and the educational content and share your stories. So what I will do is I will have like maybe 1 to 2 posts a week out of the 7 that talk about my personal stories, behind the scenes of my business, maybe what we're working on this week, traveling, just more of like my personal brand, my business journey, what I'm currently doing so my audience can connect with me. Then after the connection, authority-based content, you have the educational stuff. This is where you share your systems, what's working, client testimonials. Let's say the frameworks you're using for XYZ clients that are working really well right now. You're basically showing the educational stuff, which is something your audience can go to right now, get immediate action and get results right away. Whereas your personal stuff is something that they can relate to, they can bond to, you can create conversation over. Educational stuff should send people over to your free stuff, your paid stuff, whereas your personal stuff should really build that bond, get connections, get followers, and ultimately when your audience is ready to go into your free and paid stuff. All right, Vishnu, I have 2K followers. Should I be targeting a specific niche or keep the post general to all in my posts? So I would say target a niche. Here's the thing. I've done 7 or 8 niches in the last 10 years. You can always change it. Like, you're not stuck with one. Now, if you build a huge audience over one niche, obviously you're going to be stuck. If it's like a huge niche and you have a huge audience and you're trying to like fully pivot to something, yeah, it's going to suck. But if you're just starting out, there is no problem with just full on going in a niche. Great. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, pivot a little bit. But I would definitely recommend repetition is key. So you want to post about the same thing over and over again. So find your skill, find what you like to do, talk about it. That's about it. I wouldn't overcomplicate. I wouldn't try posting too general. If you post too general, yeah, you can build an audience. And I would say at the beginning, it's okay to be general. But as you go on, the more specific, the better. That's 100% what you have to do. Great question, man. Okay, so Victor, what role do visuals play and how do you use it on LinkedIn right now? So that's a great question for more like, I guess, a beginner style question, but visuals of, if you've seen on LinkedIn, are, I mean, kind of necessary. We'll go back here. I mean, I've got visuals in every post. If you scroll your timeline, you're going to see visuals in every post. Everyone uses visuals, videos, carousels, single image post, videos, image, video, triple image, carousel. So it's just a constant repetition of just lots of visual content. You don't have to have visuals, but like I said before, if you don't have visuals, it's just not an easy way to grow. People, like, when they're, especially if they're scrolling the timeline or they just see your content, they've got to be able to see like that eye-catching visual. And it's pretty much like you have the visual hook and then you have the text hook. You have both. You can hook audiences 2 times as fast and also 2 times as more people. So that's the easy way to do it. Also, Mark, good to have you here, man. No worries. If you have any questions, Mark, let me know. We're just doing a little Q&A right now, so happy to answer anything. We've got the school community going. If you guys are not in the school yet, join up. We've got the LinkedIn content going. New YouTube video out tomorrow. If you haven't seen that, it's going to be a podcast style video tomorrow. So there's lots of content being published. I'm going to answer the question from, let's do Ethan. He said, how do you test new content ideas without risking your brands? And I do this every single day. I mean, actually every single week, I'm testing out new content ideas and there's no risk to the brands. I would say the only risk is that something doesn't work. It gets low views, it gets low impressions. You don't get any sales from the post. That's okay. That's part of the reason like testing is so important, is because you test it. If it works, let's say you get triple the views you normally get. You just found a new like award-winning post style. If it does bad, oh well, you still made the content, and just save it for later and try to perfect it. But the only reason why I've tested and like figured out why some of these formats work so well is because I created it and then I shipped it out and it worked really well. That's why I'm doing all these different formats, right? There's no loss. Unless you're posting some super controversial, like not safe for LinkedIn content, you're fine. Just create it and see what happens. That's all you gotta do. Okay, we got Veronica, welcome in. I will approve you. If you guys just joined the school as well, go to the welcome and introduce yourself. Share a picture of your setup, your studio. Let us know where you're from, what you're working on LinkedIn, a link to your LinkedIn profile, and welcome you in. Okay, and Savvy, welcome in as well. Hope you're having a good Friday. Also, in today's live, before I end, I'm going to give everyone in the live a bit of a roadmap to work on this weekend, so you can do the roadmap and then come back on my live on Monday. We're going to be having a live in the school community. Come back on there, and you're going to have to basically present and to show yourself, like, did you successfully get what I asked done, or if not. So I'll give you like a pretty good roadmap to do this weekend. I'm going to change my profile image here with the new one. Do I have it here? No. Sad. Okay. Next, we had on systems. What's a simple workflow to manage all your LinkedIn, your email, and your community together? It's very confusing. I have a hard time doing it, from Chloe. Okay, so for the workflow to manage LinkedIn email community, honestly, I use tools for this. AI tools, third-party tools. Yeah, LinkedIn is great for some things, but honestly, it's not really good for the management. So I use Beehive, of course, for email. You guys have seen Beehive. I use School for the community. And then for emails, newsletter, automations, AI, Beehive. And then what was the third thing you asked? The third thing was community, LinkedIn. Yeah, Supergrow for LinkedIn. So Supergrow for LinkedIn, School for community, Beehive for email. You manage all those 3 things together. You can build basically these perfect empire of just boom, 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 boom. It's a perfect system. Works really well. All the links are on the school too. If you guys haven't joined yet, you can join from there. How do you set up a content calendar that's actually realistic? Oof. Yeah, I mean, I use Supergrow for that. I think for a realistic content calendar, there's not really ever going to be a perfect content calendar in terms of like what you're actually posting. Is it going to get you leads? Most people just post content. They want to get it up just because they think, oh, if I post content, people are magically just going to see my content and they're going to buy my services. It's not how it works. Organic content is great, but it's what nurtures your audience into getting more into what you actually sell, right? So, for example, I've got my profile, right? This is essentially my landing page. People are going to watch your profile for weeks, for months, many months sometimes. And they're going to go through this content. At some point, they're going to be like, all right, I'm ready to double down. They're going to go click on your link. They're going to schedule a call. They're going to book your service. But most of the time, when people first hear content, they're not going to buy anything. So what I would do is I would pretend like every post is a new post. Let's say, for example, I come to my profile. Every post should pretend like every single person that comes to my post is a new person. They don't know who I am yet. So I'm basically reintroducing myself, reintroducing my systems and what I do in every single post. And that way it also targets a new audience. People can see exactly what you do. Not everyone's going to see everything you post every single day. So let's say, for example, like you guys in the chat right now, you probably haven't seen every single post that I've created in the last week, 2 weeks, month, heck. You haven't seen all the content. So it's important to constantly refresh your audience, refresh your feed with new content ideas, repurpose content ideas, talk about the same thing, reintroduce yourself. And that nurturing over time will help you build a content calendar that actually sells. Best way to do it for sure. Okay. Back to the school. Any questions in here? All right. I'm also going over questions on the school too. If any of you drop one in there, I'll make sure to not forget that. How do you manage inbound leads from LinkedIn without letting people go through? I'm assuming like without missing them. So for inbound leads, honestly, when I get an inbound lead in my DMs, I will star it. So I'll star the conversation so I can go back. I won't miss it because I see it there. But yeah, it's important to be able to star those. I use something like AimFox, which I can essentially go through all my leads from different accounts. That works really well. And then, of course, having like a notebook or something which you can write down your to-do list, have a calendar of your to-do list, your calls. But I think just starring the inbound leads is perfect. If you get them in your email inbox, just check your email often. I would say have a specific email just for LinkedIn, your services, so you don't have spam from Amazon or any of these other like restaurants that you sign up for, the newsletters. Only have a specific email for the very important stuff. And then start the conversations, favorite them so you can always go back and find them. And then you could have something like a community. You can always find inbound easily here because I can see my community 24/7. How do you track whether your content is leading you to more money and getting leads from, or if it's just random posts? Great question. That was... Okay, that was from Leo. Yeah, so for that question, I would say the easiest way is just analytics. I've had a content where I'll like post something and then that day I get like 5 to 10 booked calls, right? I already know that that's the only piece of content I posted today. I know for a fact that that post I had today is the reason why I'm leading to 10 calls today. Same with email. I can just basically test out and see, okay, if I booked 8 calls on Friday, 8 calls on Tuesday, 10 calls on Wednesday, I can just go back and find, okay, on the 27th, I booked this many calls. On the 21st, I booked this many calls. I'll go back to that date and I'll say, okay, did I post a YouTube video? Did I post any LinkedIn videos? Did I post Instagram videos? I will find all the content that I publish on that day with the amount of calls that I booked that day. And that I can be able to tell, okay, where the lead's coming from, which post did it come from. That's probably the easiest way. There's some tools obviously that'll let you kind of filter out different types of where leads are from. You can also use like UTM parameters, but kind of up to you on that one. Will you be sharing the roadmap on LinkedIn? Yes, I can share that honestly right now. I mean, really the best way to put this depends if you're just getting started or if you already have a solid foundation. But I made a post about this a couple days ago in the school. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. I also made a newsletter on it the other day. But what I can show you guys is .beehive. Let me see if I can show you the newsletter for this one. The 200K LinkedIn funnel. Oh, actually, it comes out tomorrow, that newsletter. So I would say this post right here is kind of what I want you to start with for the roadmap. It's essentially how to build your first, like, let's say 30 days of content, and you can do it over the weekend. It's very easy. So I made a YouTube video on it, which you can find in the school, but I made a YouTube video on it. You essentially go through the Google Doc that I created, and it's a content calendar, right? You can fill it out manually. I want you to use my ChatGPT scripts. Let me go to my Google Docs and show you what that looks like. I will show you the exact roadmap right now in like 3 minutes. So everyone on chat, you can take this, use it as you want, but it helps me. Okay. All right, let me open this up. YouTube Raw series. All right, so this is essentially how it looks, right? I'm gonna pull this up, make this a little bigger. Okay. So the first thing is in the content calendar, which I gave you, which is right here, I believe. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Okay, so you're gonna get access to this Google Sheet. All right, you're gonna get access to this in the school. It's gonna be in the newsletter tomorrow. If you're on my email list, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get access to this. It's got content types, themes, post concepts. It's got post date and purpose. So your goal in the roadmap, which you're gonna have access to in tomorrow's email and on the school, is first you're gonna choose your content category. So in the next 30 days, you're gonna create 30 days of content, one day, one post per day. And you're gonna decide if you're gonna post educational, promotional, inspirational, or storytelling content. You can make it, let's say, percentage of each one, doesn't matter, but you're gonna create every single day with one type of content. You can drop that in the theme category. The second thing is create content topics and purpose. So every single day, what is the purpose of that post? Is it to promote your school? Is it to grow trust and authority? Is it to obtain emails? So once you've done that, you're gonna go to the purpose column, and you're going to select, okay, do you want to grow my community? Do you want to promote my paid service? Do I want to grow my following? Do I want to obtain emails? Do you want to promote my YouTube videos? Or do I want to promote my newsletter promotions? That's it. You're going to choose your purpose. So now you've got your theme of the content and you've got the purpose. The next thing you want to do now is decide, okay, what's the content type? Is it going to be an infographic, a personal image, a newsletter, a video, or a carousel? Do that. Now you have 3 columns already set to go. So that way, when you're going to create, you know exactly what to create and how you're going to create it. The only other thing now you need is the post concept. What's the idea, the overall idea of the post? Now you're going to go back to here. Okay, so you got the purpose. I explained that. Now you're going to use this ChatGPT script. It's going to be an email tomorrow. It's on the YouTube video that comes out on, or actually last week, and it'll be in my school. Use this ChatGPT script right here. Put it in the chat, fill it out. It's going to give you a content calendar, which you're going to put in right here for post concepts, right? You're gonna get all that, and you're gonna fill in how often you want to post, 7 times a week, how many days you want content ideas for, 30 days, and then your niche and content topic. So your overall niche, what you talk about on a daily basis. Put in the ChatGPT script, generate it, get 30 days, do it a few times, edit it so you have 3 days. So you're gonna have your content type, your theme, your post concept from ChatGPT, the post date, which is starting tomorrow, or let's say Monday, because after the weekend you can work on this, and the purpose. Once you have all that done, you can take the, okay, so let's say, for example, I want to do a personal image on the theme is going to be outbounds. The post concept is I've seen outreach tactic in the book, yet 99% of DMs still fail. That's going to be the concept. I got that from chat, for example. Then I know that the purpose is going to be grow my following. So it's going to be more of authoritative type style content. So I'm going to go into my draft. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn or to Supergrow, whatever tool you're using to write content. And you're going to start writing. You know your purpose. You know how you should talk about your posts. You know exactly the post concept. You know exactly what your hook's going to be. And you know what the theme is. You're only talking about outbound. So you have everything you need. Do that this weekend. Even if you can't do 30 days, let's say do 7 days. Build a very complex roadmap, but it's also very simple. Draft the 7 posts. And then on Monday in the school community, we're going to have a live call. We're going to have everyone break down their 7 posts and see how you did. That's going to be the roadmap. So copy this, steal it, and then come back on Monday in the school community, and you're going to present your 7 days. It doesn't have to be polished, but at least want to be able to see that it's working for everyone. If you have any questions, you can ask there too. But that's going to be the perfect roadmap for LinkedIn. Always, it's not going to be perfect, of course, at the very start, but you'll get a better understanding over time. It'll be a lot easier to create this as time goes on. I've been doing this for so long where it just becomes natural at this point. Same for all my clients, but this is essentially the easy way to do it. Okay, let's go to the next one. What's your process for batching content versus posting day off? So yeah, so actually going back onto this, that's a great question. Aisha, yeah, that great question. So moving on to another topic on this is that all these are fresh ideas. So I'm posting a fresh idea no matter what. The only time I'm not posting fresh ideas is if I'm super busy for some reason. I'm on planes all day. I'm exhausted from a trip or something, or I'm just not in my studio. I just don't have my laptop or something, whatever. There's probably a reason for it. But if I don't have content, I will then go back, find a recent post that did really, really well. I'll probably change the visual. It depends on like how down bad I am. If I'm super down bad, I will copy the exact post and repurpose it. If I'm not down bad, I have some time to make some adjustments. I'll change the hook and the visual, and then I'll post it. So otherwise, every single day is new content. I focus on new content. New content is what's going to get new eyes on your content, right? So in your profile. So new stuff every day, no matter what, unless you don't have time or you need a filler, then that's when you would go and repurpose stuff. Hope that helps. It's a great question, that too. I think a lot of people are a little confused on like, oh, how often should I repurpose? How do I repurpose? Should I create new content every single day? You know, there's just so many questions on this, and there's no real answer because everyone's audience is different. Everyone's time is different. Everyone's system is different. Everyone, what they're selling is different. So there's always a different framework for everyone that works differently. So it's good to be able to test different things and see what works for you. Okay, let's see. What's the first step to building a personal brand if I'm just starting out, Olivia? Yeah, if you're just starting out, honestly, I would do your profile first. Optimize your profile, figure out what exactly you want to sell, who you want to sell to, and how you're going to do it. And then you're going to start creating personal content. You're going to start creating behind the scenes. Let's say you're building your email list from scratch right now. You're trying to build Beehive. Take photos of it. Document the process. That's a post right there. Basically, you're shipping all these new features to your audience, and you're going to show behind the scenes and what it looks like in the back. You're going to show that in your organic content. So, for example, I'm creating this live right now. I'm just talking and answering questions. Boom. I can create, let's say, photos from back here of like behind the scenes. Create photos of like the actual live. There's tons of stuff I can do here to create content. So you really just want to do behind the scenes and showing your business. Like show what you're building, show what you're doing on a daily basis, and show the results. Show what's not working, show what is working. But maybe you launched a product, not a product, but let's say you launched like a system that you tried for a week and it didn't work. Showcase what you built, why it didn't work, why you think it didn't work, and what you're doing to improve it. People love that because you'd be surprised how many people are doing the exact same thing you're doing. So take your system, try it. If it doesn't work, showcase why it didn't work and the edits you're going to make to test it out again. That'll be golden. But it's behind the scenes stuff that's going to do really, really well. All right, let's check out back to the school real quick. Again, welcome everyone that's new to the live. If you guys just got to the live, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. We're just doing like a little Q&A right now, so feel free to drop any of your thoughts here. If you have any questions on anything. I saw that, oh, Veronica, welcome in. Great to have you here. All right, we got Veronica came in from the live, then Mark, I see you joined in as well. Great to have. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. 328. Very nice. We're getting there. We are getting there. Cool. All right, so that's the roadmap is pretty good. We've got the content calendar down. Great questions there. Let's see what else we can drop. We have a little bit more time for a few more questions, guys. If you want to ask anything in the chat, feel free. The recording, if you missed anything, is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on School. It's going to be on LinkedIn, and it'll be on X, so you can find it on every platform. Okay. Let's see. All right, so the next question, we'll do one from yesterday. All right. What role does, okay, yeah, this one's really good from Lucas yesterday. What role does community like School play in scaling the business? Yeah, so I can actually run down how a community could really help. So if anyone in the chat right now is building a community, whether it's on Discord, School, Circle, whatever it is, you can essentially create your community as your lead magnet. Now, most people have like templates, or they have like let's say an email course, they have a video course. Those are all great, but what you can do is, instead of doing all of these courses and all these like super long documents and PDFs, you can essentially take everyone to a free community, and inside that, you're gonna build a roadmap. You're gonna build a 60 or 90-day roadmap. So when your audience goes into the community, they don't only have a lead magnet, but they've got a community of like-minded people that they can build along with. They can ask questions, they can compare themselves, and then after that, you can essentially add the 30-day or let's say 60-day roadmap. So your audience now has a set instructions for the next 60 days to build with the like-minded people. So they have the community aspect, and they've also got the roadmap where they can then build together. So it's pretty much like the top of the funnel from the content you send to your School community, and then from there you can essentially send people over to your classroom, which is going to have upsells. You can upsell with your high ticket, your low ticket offers. You can pretty much do free School community, free LinkedIn content, upsell in the School community, and then from there you can upsell to your high ticket services. But it's a really good place in my opinion. I've tested like, let's say 12 different lead magnets now. My favorite one by far. Before this, it was a 5-day free email course. I still have it, but this one is by far my favorite one. Having like a community where we can all work together, we can have live calls, we can do all that. So that's, I would say, is the best one. Is it important to have a premium account, Veronica? I would say no. I don't even have a premium account. The only reason I'd be good if you want to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, if you want to use like for the outbounds, but I don't need it. I've ran a business on here for 2.5 years. I've never once had it. I think I had it for like 2 months because I had it for free, but it's really not necessary. I don't think. It's also pretty expensive if you're just starting out, so I don't really think you need it. I wouldn't worry about it. My camera keeps dying on me. All right, good question, Veronica. Good to have you in the school as well. Glad you were able to join in. Okay, let's see. All right, just one moment. All right, apologies. Just move some of my stuff. Okay. What's the biggest mistake people make when trying to monetize on LinkedIn? From Emma. Just came in. Great question. So I would say for monetization, I think most people, what they try to do is they try to sell too early. If you try to sell too early, you're going to lose all the trust. What I've done is I will basically create a waitlist for 3 months, and you're essentially creating organic content, all your free stuff for 3 months straight. And on top of that, you're going to provide a waitlist. People can join the waitlist for 3 months. And after that 3 months, you're doing all the building in public. You're showcasing all your systems and like all the free stuff. And then after that 3 months, you launch an email saying, hey, the waitlist is over. You can now join my XYZ paid course, whatever it is. So you start with three months of free content, 2 months, whatever it is. Build a waitlist in all those months. You can build, let's say, a list of 200, 300,000 people, depending on how good your content is. And then you'll build and launch that paid product with that waitlist. As long as you're building that paid product in public, showcase that you're building it already so people have a little hint towards what they're getting themselves into. And that way in 3 months, you're not just like, hey, buy my course. That doesn't work. So make sure you're building in public. And that's going to be the easiest way to basically take your audience from free to paid while building a waitlist without being too salesy. Great question. Okay. Yeah. And Veronica, no worries. We have time for about 2 more questions. If anyone in the chat wants to ask anything before I leave here, and then I'll launch the video in the school so you guys have access to that. I think I had one other question from yesterday, so we can take 1 or 2 more from the chat, and then we'll call it for today. I would say I just see Noah's question from yesterday. What's the one system you'd rebuild from scratch if you had to start over today? Yeah, that's pretty good. If I did have to restart everything, I would say I'd start posting every single day like I did, probably twice a day. I would build my school community early. I think having a community is really good outside of social media, because on social media, you never know what happens. Impressions go down, things like that happen. But you always have this community. You've got referral links, you've got affiliate links. People can join from their friends. So you don't only have to rely on your content, but you can also rely on other people, word of mouth. Oh, this community is so great. So much is happening here. Word of mouth happens like that. Like, we're really building like the #1 community right now for LinkedIn. So have a school community, post very, very often, and just send out more comments and replies to other people's posts than you post yourself. I think the outbound and the actual network on LinkedIn is so crucial. Yeah, it's good on like Instagram, it's good on TikTok, all these other platforms, but LinkedIn specifically, the reach is really bad if you don't have some sort of engagement process. So the engagement process is 100% necessary. Push that onto the school community and the organic content every single day, and you've got the perfect system. That's exactly what I would do. Okay. And I guess one other thing I will recommend, guys, is from the last question on growth and strategy, how do you handle negativity, trolls, etc.? Oh, I mean, I've only had a few of those. I used to have some that were like AI comments. People would hate with AI. You ignore it. it doesn't matter. Actually, what I would do is I'd probably troll back to them. I would say like, oh, let's say someone's like making fun of the system. We're like, oh, it doesn't work. You're a guru, blah, blah, blah. You basically just reply and just be like, really? Or you just like, you make some sort of funny comment to that. You just ignore it though. It doesn't matter. I'm assuming a lot of you guys have that though. It happens quite often on LinkedIn. I think it's just because like so much AI is going on right now and just people hate LinkedIn. So that's how it is. Okay, one more question. Let's do. Oh, this is a really good question. I was gonna save this for today. Ahmed, the biggest shift from scaling from 5K to 25K per month. So if you want to scale a business at all, if you're doing content, whatever it is, the first like $10,000 a month is essentially it's the hardest time because all your own systems. You're not hiring anyone yet. It's all your own work. So let's say you have 5 clients at 2K a month for that 10K a month. All that work is yourself. You're doing all the work, you're doing all the systems. You're still building everything. So it's very hard. Now, after you hit 10K, when you're hitting to like 15 to 20, that's when you start hiring. You've got more third-party tools. You probably have some VAs. You've got some team members. You probably don't have a huge team yet, but you definitely have like maybe some VAs there. That's when you really start scaling. So from 0 to 10K is all yourself. After 10K, I'd recommend scaling and reaching out to VAs, third-party tools, use some systems to make the work a lot easier so you can focus on getting more clients versus just, trying to, let's say, make the current clients pay more, right? After 20K, you're talking about, let's say 25 and plus, you're going to need a lot better systems. You're also going to need to start, I guess, charging a lot more. You don't want to have 100 clients at $1,000 a month. That just doesn't make sense if you're doing too much work. What you want is a few clients on a very high premium tier. So as you're starting to scale, what I would recommend doing is add services to your current clients and say, hey, like we're adding this and this, and we're going to charge this amount of money, right? So increase the price to your current clients, add more value, showcase it's worth it. And then that way you can work with less clients, but make more money. And you're also going to have VAs working with you. You're going to have more tools. So when you're first starting out, it's all yourself. Then as you go, you're going to be hiring, you're going to be having VAs, third-party tools. You can charge more. That's a great question though. All right, guys, that's all the ones in the chat, all the ones I had from the post yesterday and the last week. So we're going to call this live an end. If you have any other questions, ask in the school, ask on LinkedIn, shoot me an email, whatever it is. Ask me there, and then I'll see you guys on Monday. Make sure to get done the roadmap, go through the roadmap scenario, everything I shared with you, build it, come back on Monday. We're going to have a live school event in the school again, where you can basically ask any questions and also showcase what you built over the weekend. So that's going to be it for this live. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Veronica, Vishnu, Saba, Mark, great to have you guys here. Afwi, AJ, thanks guys for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next live. We've got another one coming up on Friday, and of course, the lives in the school throughout the week. Anyways, yeah, cheers. Thanks for tuning in.